What's up guys, I'm currently in Vietnam now and have been already traveling for about 2 weeks and still will be traveling for the next 4 weeks, so lots and lots of travel content coming soon. Haven't really figured out which content is coming first, but I figured doing this video would be the very first one. I will assume some of y'all might be interested in the entry requirements for Vietnam and Thailand and even coming back to Singapore, or foreigners going to Singapore. So before COVID started, as you all know, traveling has always been relatively easy. So you just go online, you book your flights, you book your accommodation and you just go. And fast forward 2 years, traveling to UK, which you can watch the series here, as well as traveling to Thailand and Vietnam. Travel has added another layer of difficulty that we have to overcome. Though it may seem hard to many of y'all, but I repeat, it is not super duper hard. Okay, like it's not hard. It's just very tedious. And if you love traveling as much as I do, all this tedious work will definitely pay off. So there will be 3 segments to this video: entry requirements for Thailand, entry requirements for Vietnam, and also entry requirements for Singapore. So I'm just going to jump into the main part of this video, and the first part is entry requirements to Thailand. So before coming to Thailand, there are 3 main things. The 3 main things are COVID-19 vaccine cert, Thailand pass, insurance with medical coverage of about minimum 10. So as expected, there are a couple of changes to these travel requirements. Initially, I wanted to release this video about 3 weeks ago, but I delayed it for so long. But here it is. Yes, so FutureLens here to amend the mistakes of my past. Just kidding, but just to make things right so you all don't flame me in the comments below. So as you can see from the background, I'm back in my own home and not in Vietnam or Thailand anymore. But yeah, as of 1st July, the Thailand government has made things a lot easier when entering the country. They have actually removed 2 things, and the 2 things are the $10,000 insurance and the Thailand pass. And according to tourismthailand.org, some of the pre-arrival requirements still remain the same, which is just 1 thing, actually 2. The main thing is the COVID certificate. The other thing is your passport lah, according to the website. So in my original video, I did explain it correctly, so here it is. So to start off with the COVID-19 cert, if you're a Singaporean, high chance you are probably already fully vaccinated. All you need to do is to enter the notarized website and get your vaccine cert, and you're pretty much done. Or you can go another step by adding that vaccine cert into a Google Pay app, which you can actually show your history of vaccination and the QR code that is required. But we were a little bit kiasu, so we also printed it out just to be a little bit safer. Alternatively, if you are not vaccinated, there are also 2 other methods for you to enter Thailand. And also in the original video, I did a little bit of explanation for non-vaccinated travelers or not fully vaccinated travelers entering Thailand. And here's FutureLens here to correct past lens because there are some changes after 1st of July. So for unvaccinated travelers or not fully vaccinated travelers, the changes are relatively similar because you will not need the Thailand pass or the insurance. However, you will still need a proof of negative PCR or supervised ART within 72 hours of travel. And when you have that negative result presented to the customs, you will then be allowed to travel around the country. However, if you do not present your negative result at the customs, according to the website, it states you are required to follow the public health instructions and guidelines as deemed appropriate by the health control officer at the point of arrival. All expenses incurred will be the responsibility of the traveler. On the website itself, it did not state much about the instructions and guidelines, but just take note of it when you're coming here. It'll just be easier if you just do that PCR or supervised ART. And moving on to Vietnam, the entry requirements compared to Thailand is a lot more simple and easier to understand. So according to Vietnam Airlines, as of 27 April, travelers are not required to make any forms of medical declaration when entering Vietnam. And as of 15 May, travelers are not required to take any forms of COVID test before entering Vietnam. However, you'll be required to download an app which is called PC COVID app. And if you're from Singapore, it's very much similar to Trace Together. So in this app, you're just assigned a QR code basically about your information. So the companies can use this data for epidemic prevention. Because in an event of a suspected case, they can quickly gather the data and find out the source of infection and prevent it from further infecting others. You also need this app to scan into certain places, and it also shows your vaccination status whether you are or not. And here is Future Lens here dropping another update. So after entering and leaving Vietnam twice, and I went through customs twice, and they did not check if I downloaded the PC COVID app. They actually did not even check my COVID certification. Only when I left Vietnam the first time they did check for the certificate. However, when I left for the second time, they did not check. So I did download the app in the end, but no one bothered to check it. And actually when I tried to scan the QR code, it showed just a bunch of numbers and text. But if you're coming here, do take note of that. Just download the app in case you're the unlucky person that the customs chose to check on you. And moving on to the last segment of this video, which is the entry requirements to Singapore. First off, for fully vaccinated travelers, there are no requirements for pre-departure testing. However, you are still required to submit this SGE arrival card within 3 days of your departure. For non-fully vaccinated travelers, you are required to take a pre-departure test 2 days before your flight. It can be a PCR or supervised ART. Results must be in English, cannot be handwritten, and it must contain the test result, the name, date of the test, and either birthday or passport number. And for the non-fully vaccinated travelers, in addition to the PCR test, you are required to do a 7-day stay-home notice at a declared accommodations. And lastly, you have to download an app called Trace Together, similarly mentioned previously in Vietnam, where you have to download this PC COVID app. Basically, this app shows your vaccination status and allows you to scan a QR code for you to enter places. As of 26 April 2022, the Singapore government has removed the use of the Trace Together app at majority of the places, and only certain places require you to scan the QR code. So before I end the video, I have multiple links down below in the description to help you guys in checking the info and having the necessary stuff needed to enter each country. So remember to check down below and check for the updates, because I'll be adding further updates if there are any changes in the entry requirements to each individual country. So basically that's about it for the Singapore entry requirements. I would say it's somewhat confusing for non-fully vaccinated travelers. If you are vaccinated, it's as easy as Vietnam already. I do want to reiterate my points that the date of filming this is 6 June 2022, and any changes to the entry requirements can happen anytime, very fast. So do your due diligence in researching before coming to a certain country. And I wish you all the best for your holidays and happy travels. Safe travels too. So welcome to the end of this episode. If you like this episode, remember to like, share and subscribe, and remember to stay tuned for Vietnam and Thailand content, more coming soon. So this is going to be a very short video, and bye guys.